Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to get back on the TC125. Going to get the top end put on it and maybe a few other little odds and ends. But we're making some headway. We've got a little steam running here, so maybe we can get this end of the frame by I don't know, maybe ends week. So let's get on with it here. Let's take a look at what we're doing. Okay, get the cylinder here, and I've already got one ring on. I've already done the measurement, but just to go over it again with one, we're going to stick the ring in. I've already got this going. I can't really push it down with that. But anyhow, they want you to check this in the least worn area, which would be the bottom here. I'm just putting it down close to the where I would go there, and I'm running about 12 on both of these, so we're good. They're saying 6 to 14, so we're all good there. We've got our hone all done. The cylinder looks good. And we're all clean. And we'll just go ahead. Now these Suzuki, they put about I think it's a 7-inch bevel on the top. So you want to pay attention. You've got one flat edge. This one here should go down, and the beveled side up. And on some of these, yeah, you can see a little mark here. I don't know, I think it's like an N or something. The beveled side or the marking goes up, and make sure you line it up with your pins there. And I'll just go ahead and snap that one on there. Okay, let's get back over to our engine here. And I've got my rags down in here. It's not real necessary until we start putting clips in. I've already got the one clip in away from me. Yep. So I've got one left to put in. There's that one. And I've got a new pin and bearing. And I'm just going to get me a little assembly lube here. Put it in the rod and on the bearing. We'll work it in a little bit. Yeah, it looks good. Suzuki's pins, they're not chromed anymore. I don't know what they've done. It's a black coating, but that's going to work for us. Okay, we've got our piston arrow toward the exhaust port, and I'm going to actually put a little bit of lube in there too, but in the pin areas I'm going to go with the Yama lube there. It's a little thinner. I'm afraid if I put the assembly lube there, it'll just push it all out. So all right, toward the exhaust port. right in there like it was made for it. How about that? And again, make sure that you've got your rags in there to when you get ready to put your pin or your clip in. You just do not want to lose that thing in there. Alright, looks like we're good. Snapped in the groove. And be careful pulling the rags out because you don't want to tear your gasket. Some people would probably wait to put the gasket on, and it'd probably be wise to do so. I just I liked getting it on there, so I would protect it while it was, you know, it just didn't laying around. I thought it'd be more protected there, as long as you're careful when you're pulling it out. Okay, one less look up in there. Everything looks as it should. And you want to make sure that when I put the banjo fittings on, squirt some of your oil in there. In this case, Yamalube's what I'm going to use since you can't get the CCI anymore. And make sure that it's coming out the hole here, and make sure that your gasket has got a hole there so the oil can get up into the carburetor, and squirt in quite a bit into the area here that's going to your main bearing. All right, so everything's looking pretty good, and we've got our pins lined up, and I'm going to put a little Yamalube there on these ring lands. And just spread it around on the piston a little bit. And I'm going to do one final wipe on the cylinder. And some Yamalube goes in there. Okie dokie. And make sure the rings are centered on your pins. And let's see if I can get this to go in there. Okay, I'll push this piston down to the bottom. I think maybe it'll make it a little easier instead of trying to fight it wanting to go down there anyway. I had to turn this thing around so I could see them on the back side here, the pins. And I think I finally got it. I think I was just kept moving them with my, or moving the rings away from the location pins. But I think we got her in there now. All right. Do deliver down. Looks like the gasket's good. Okay. Everything looks good. Oh, it looks really nice. Yes, sir. Very good. Just do a quick wipe on the top there, on the head. Our new gasket. Let me get some oil in these bolts. Just put a little bit in there so they're not torquing up dry. All right. Gasket has just got a mind of its own here. I'm going to have to get 2 bolts going here so I can keep that centered. All right. There we go. Now, they call for, the book calls for it in foot-pounds or kilograms. I'm going to do the foot-pound thing. They say about 14.5 to 18 foot-pounds. And I've actually got an inch-pound torque wrench that's more suited for this job. So all you got to do is just multiply your 14 and 19, or 14 and 18 by 12, and that gives you your inch-pound reading. And I believe it's 174 to, I don't know, like 220 or something like that, inch-pounds. Okay, now I'm going to do it in increments. I'm going to go to 170 first. Yeah, I'm going to go up a little bit before I go to my first torque. Okay, that's at 170. And let's run up to 190. And our final torque, 200 inch-pounds. Okay, so we're all torqued up, and I'm going to put the block off plug in one side here. I can't remember which side it actually runs on. I think it's this side. I think the plug goes over here. Easy enough to move. And make sure it's got a gasket on it too, and it does. Okay. And I'm going to try to tighten up the nut on the countershaft. May not be able to do that with my impact. Not with that thing on there. Let me find a wrench. Okay, I've got a 1.25 inch. That's a big nut on this thing. And I just got some used chain to hold this with. I don't have to hold it if I've got the impact, but if you're trying to do it this way, you do. Let me see if I can get you down here, kind of see what I'm doing. You can just kind of fold this over. In this case, you can get over by your shift shaft there, and it'll hold it a little bit. All right, I think that's good. So it's good to have a piece of used chain laying around just in case you need to do that. I guess I probably should just cut some shorter pieces so I can do that easier. And then of course we've got the bend over our keeper. All right. And we've got the mag in already, the stator. And I'm thinking I'll probably do another video on setting the points. I know I've done this before, but you know, it's a little more involved than just doing it. So I think I'll wait and do a separate video on that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a little oil in these lines, prime them up. You can see right here the oil coming up. That one's going to our main bearing. This way we can, over time, we can watch it and make sure that the check valve is holding. So just pull the little screw out on the middle, in the middle there on that line, and just pump it up in there. I think I've showed this before. I've just got a little piece of hose here on the end of my my squirter. Now watch this other line. See it coming up right there. Should be able to see that one. Yep, came right out the little port. Let's see if I can get you up there to see that. Okay, I think you can see up the port there. Watch the tube. See the oil coming out? Okay, so we know that one's all the way up. Put our little screw back in. At least that way we know we've got oil up in there, and we'll watch to see if it comes back down. You know, if the check valves are not working, then the oil will eventually come back down, and it'll probably go up this hose. So it'll give us a little time to check all that out. All right. Other than that, let's just put our cover back on. And up here we've got the little clamp for the electrical wires coming out of the magneto. And it's sure nice having new wire. Okay, I think that's just about it for the day. Okay guys, not much to the video for putting the top end on. The measuring and all that was already done. The only thing I wanted to go over again was the end gap on the rings. And it's just on a two-stroke, it's pretty easy. You just get everything lined up. If that happens, I was having a little struggle here, but finally got it to work. And we went over priming the lines again, torquing the head, and we can now actually get it back into the bike if we need to, but I'll probably do one more video for setting up the timing on this. It just takes a little bit longer, and I don't want to make that long a video. So thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.